after a long delay that lasted the entire day, we actually are starting this second half at 8:30 in the morning. We are seeing Arizona Arsenal come back out onto the field. Welcome to this very much special broadcast of USL2 soccer, as we had a long delay due to the storm that went through here last night. Luckily, it did not affect the actual field too much. However, we had to retrieve some coolers that ended up going all the way to fields 12 and 14, those artificial turf fields to the right of the main field. Current scoreline here is 1-0. Just a little summary of the action that happened last night. Arsenal did not score any goals. They were close with the Blaze Hardy chance, but it was whistled offside. The lone goal from last night's first half was scored by Al-Hassan Al-Sakati, the center attacking mid. Do not know if there's going to be any changes made. The expectation is that everyone probably should feel quite fresh, so maybe substitutions might not be necessary due to that. But as of right now, it is Arsenal ball. We're about to start this second half. Same refereeing staff. My assumption is that is the case, but we shall see how things will go. Start the second half. Another funny thing that happened last night, not haha funny, but kind of unfortunate more than anything, rather. The speaker towards the parking lot actually was blown over last night, and it is no longer in operation. So if you do come to our game tonight against Coachella, stay on the right side, because that's where all the PA stuff is. It's going to be a little bit of an extra walk. AMSG taking their last-second introductions, or last-second routines here. Arsenal's bench on the right side of the field, AMSG's bench on the left. Everyone's a little bit disoriented. AMSG, as soon as this game is over, are going to have a bus that takes them straight back home, as they will finish out their season at home. Arsenal essentially playing a doubleheader today. There probably will be some changes in their lineup. And the referee blows his whistle. Nope, not quite yet. And now the referee blows his whistle. We are underway to start this second half, as Ortiz will play this out. There's the camera moving. Broadcasting this from the house here. Parents are taking a walk, so they assigned me to watch the brother. He's doing pretty well, and here come Arsenal. But AMSG able to get the ball right back, but not for long. Arsenal chances here. So Jacob Fitzgerald on the ball, passes it back to Kamara. And played around with Joshua Martinez. Ortiz now. Played back to Martinez and back to Hardy. And played around, but lost by Arsenal. It's Al-Sakati, the man who scored last night. He's going to pass it around. And fired into the box. It was a shot at goal, but it was easily blocked by Joshua Martinez. Now going to be played back around. And back to the goalie. Played around here. Would not surprise me if these teams played at a slower pace than they did last night, due to the fact that they are actually like in an outdoor environment. It is technically cooler outside, but the sun is definitely beating down on these players. As Sanchez now on the ball. Tried to pass that to one of his strikers, but DP is able to collect it. And now here come Arsenal with Shamai Kamara. Kamara, long ball, but a little too long, and it's at the feet of Haynes. Haynes will pass this out to one of his defenders. And AMSG looking to go up the field. Now Shakati on his right back to Sakati. Now played along the back. Puente. Sanchez. Now there was a substitution for AMSG that, as we've just been noted, it was Zaro Hillislam? Yes, Amir Sauer Hillislam, who checked in. He was one of the subs. It is actually quite a weird situation that the teams have been put in today due to the fact that, well, they start the second half essentially on fresh legs. Yes, you usually take like a 15-minute break at the end of the first half, but this was technically the last ball was kicked to end the first half at about 8 o'clock last night, and this game started at about 8:30 today, so there was a 12-hour break in between. And for the sake of Arizona Arsenal, I'm assuming they're not exactly putting their foot on the gas as much as you would see. However, still are looking for that goal. Jacob Fitzgerald nearly wings the ball back in great position, but instead it's still AMSG on the ball. And the shot attempt from AMSG is saved, and now a counterattack possibility. I need to turn around. I'm looking at the wrong screens. And now chances here for AMSG, or not AMSG, for Arsenal, sorry. And it will be kicked out of play for an Arsenal throw. Arsenal have a chance to throw it in here. It's going to be with Shamai Kamara. Will be thrown into Caden Cameron. Kamara looking for a cross in. The shot is going to be just a tad bit too soft. Easy pickings for the goalkeeper. "51 minutes gone now. And nearly taken away by Fitzgerald again. He is hustling towards the ball now. Trying to force a mistake from AMSG. But still they have it. And still they pass it around as the 50th minute turns into the 51st minute. And now a long ball here. Won't find the AMSG striker, and it's going to be kicked away. Headed straight back, and straight back to Al Sakati, who's surrounded by defenders, and it will be Zeke Zambrano on this ball. Zambrano takes the shot and nearly gets a nice goal from outside the 18, but instead it will be a goal kick. Goal kick to be taken short. It will be interesting coming back to the field tonight for anyone who is planning on coming. If there is some damage done to the scoreboards, granted nothing really was blown too high. However, these scoreboards were constantly running. Electricity is a little bit crazy. And I believe there was a little bit of rain last night. There's definitely a lot of dust. I'm going to have to wash my car as soon as this game ends. And I'm assuming I won't be the only one, as AMSG will be passing this ball back. It is actually surprisingly cooler this morning than it was last night. However, the humidity is definitely going to play a factor as DP will save this ball and throw this back around. Something that I just now noticed is that the screens aren't really showing the advertisements here, so maybe there was something happened within the system. So the ball's going to be taken away and played around. It's Sanchez on the ball. Sanchez will pass this to Puente. Puente will pass it back to Haynes. And a little bit of passing around Hammond now. Arsenal with their high press trying to force a mistake. For Arsenal, unfortunately, this is guaranteed to be the second to last game of the season and last game of the season. They're officially out of the playoff race after drawing with Tucson in their last game. This ball is going to just trickle out for a goal kick. AMSG, however, still have their playoff chances very much well and truly alive. They are in second place right now with 2 games remaining. A win here would definitely solidify their spot in the second seed. As the second seed, Tucson, however, they're placed third at the moment, and hoping for a little bit of help from their rivals to the north. Here's Joshua Martinez now. He's going to take a nice long cross in, and it's going to be headed away and back to Sanchez, who will kick this out towards the right. And now Sanchez again. Sanchez on a good run. El Sacati now. Sacati will pass this back to the number 3. Now back to Sanchez. Now some more passing and moving. Ball will jump just a little bit more, and that's going to be a foul here. Arsenal had a pretty good chance if that play was called a clean tackle. But the referee will call this a foul and a free kick. And that ball gets thrown all the way across the field, or kicked rather. And easy spotting for the referee here. There's a hole where the foul was committed. But now it's AMSG on the ball again. Sacati playing a little bit further back here. He's assigned to be the center attacking mid, playing in a more defensive position here. And played around. Now another chance for AMSG. Going to be crossed around to the right. It's going to be Gloria who crosses that in. And deflected by Kamara and out for a corner. Corner taken on an in-swing. And a shot attempted at goal by Reese Kilpin. But just wide. And it's going to be a goal kick for Arsenal. And a little bit of a slip there from the Arsenal center back. I believe that is Boucher. Now Fitzgerald on it. Would not surprise me if Arsenal opt to not have any subs and instead play it as, or put those subs in to start the second game. Is a game against a team that Arsenal have beaten, and we're ahead 4-1, but instead it will be 2 substitutes for Arsenal coming in. This was going to be lobbed around. Still AMSG on the ball as we approach the 60th minute. And now it's Arsenal's ball. Played up the field to Zambrano. Zambrano was looking for gain camera. Good bit of defense from AMSG. I'll boot it across the field here. Back at the feet of the AMSG defense. Sanchez now. Still Sanchez. El Sakati. Stays on his feet. Now crosses that in to Armin Tirani. And it is a second for AMSG. It's 2-0. 60th minute goal. And AMSG very much looking to put this game away. Armin Tirani gets his first goal of this matchup. And the second goal of the game definitely feels more like a first goal. It's a shortened game. The kickoff, the ball, an AMSG player is still in the circle, but Arsenal definitely in a hurry to at least score a goal here in quick succession. Christian Ortiz passes this back to Martinez. Martinez to Hardy. Now Martinez. Deflected and still in play, but now forced out of play by AMSG. And it will be their throw. Bryce Backlund pressured into the error. AMSG looking for their third. Might as well get themselves a little bit of a high before, or end on a high rather, before taking the long bus ride home back to Orange County. Ball's going to be kicked with some attempted precision, but still will eventually end up at the feet of AMSG. And now chances here. It was Marco Botin, one of the subs that just came on, who had their chance at goal. Played back to Haynes, and now played up to Puente. Substitutes for Arsenal were, there's a new player on Arsenal squad that is getting his debut. It's Isa Hamid. He's in the number 7 today. I believe the first player of the season to wear that number, as the ball's going to be forced out of play. AMSG pleading that it's their ball, but looks like the ref's not having it. It will be an Arsenal throw. Isa Hamid making his debut. He was subbed on earlier, I believe. I believe Owen Jowett is also on the field. He was subbed on. Christian Ortiz will play the short. Martinez headed away here. Now Al Sakati looking to pass this around as AMSG trying to make it 3. It was a shot by Sanchez straight into the hands of Donovan Partizan. Plays Hardy to Christian Ortiz. Played across the way. Now it is Fitzgerald. Finds Martinez. Martinez to Hardy. And Hardy will kick this up the field. And AMSG, unforced error. And out of play. There are a couple of people using umbrellas right now to get some shade, as there is no shade on this grandstand. This grandstand's meant to be used at night rather than the day. Ball's going to be played back to Blaze Hardy, who's, I believe, actually wearing number 29. He's worn a couple of numbers this season. I do not recall him wearing number 29, but this is the first time he's done that. Obviously, the Arsenal players are playing in jerseys that had to deal with either 12 hours of sweat or were just straight up washed overnight. And now Jacob Fitzgerald on the volley, deflected. Still Jacob Fitzgerald now trying to get. It is Hamid, but it will be saved by the AMSG keeper, and he will take his time. Up 2-0 in the desert heat. AMSG, I believe, the only team that's had to play in the daytime, or at least this early, for a USL2 side. All of our games in the USL2, at home at least, are played at night. This is the only time you'll see any sort of game happen in the day, especially with how hot it gets here. Now Arsenal regain possession here with Zeke Zambrano, who's going to pass it back to Kamara. Kamara's going to pass this up. It was not, in fact, Owen Jowett who was subbed on. Instead, it is the number 24 rather than Owen Jowett's 25. It was David Cordes who gets subbed on. He's playing as one of the center backs. That's going to be Blaze Hardy. Martinez. It's left open in space here. Tried to cross that into Zambrano, but it's just a little bit too high. And Kamara forces the fall, and substitutions in place. I believe it's going to be AMSG having a couple of subs. "66 minutes gone." Not the greatest bit of play from Bryce Backlund, and it will be a goal kick. Tried to turn, but the ball just got away from him. And AMSG will have their goal kick. Harm's just getting this out of the zone. Chances here for Arsenal. It's the new kid on the block. Gonna try and cross this in just the wrong side of Backlund. And Backlund is well too far away from that ball to pursue it. It's out of play. AMSG will have the throw. So we approach the 70th minute. Off the heels of Owen Jowett, who was subbed on just recently. And out of play, AMSG again with a throw. Don't know if there will be any changes in the starting lineup for Adam Burke and his squad. As right now, still looking at a 2-0 deficit. It looks like either Kennison is warming up or he's going to have to play as the designated ball boy. As you would expect, there aren't any ball boys here today. They all showed up last night, and oh dear, an attempt here from Hassad or Hamid to get that ball back, but it's now officially back with Arsenal. Crosses in, gets deflected, and now it's going to be played back. Kamara loses it. And AMSG were very much set for a counter, but ball was just kicked a tad bit too hard. Zeke Zambrano now. Ortiz. Hardy. Martinez. Crossed in, just over the head of Hamid. Fitzgerald. Now back to Hardy. Fitzgerald to Hardy. Now to Ortiz. Jowett. Martinez. Ortiz surrounded by 2 AMSG defenders. Opts to pass it back to Jowett, and Jowett will pass this to Hardy. Cordes. Hamid. Gets forced out of play. It's deflected out of play. It's going to be a throw-in. And the referee, actually, didn't look like. And first official corrects the assistant referee, and it's out of play for a AMSG throw-in. Didn't see much of a deflection there from AMSG, if any. And in fact, actually, there wasn't any. Arsenal will get the ball back, however. So possibly a ball don't lie moment as plays Hardy. Passes it to, I believe that's Cordes. Who's going to cross? Who's going to pass that in? Now it's passed around here. Does find Ortiz. Just past Hamid, and now another chance here for AMSG, but good play from Joa to prevent a one-on-one situation. Now it's Ortiz. Hamid. Just getting the ball taken off him there, and now it's AMSG on the attack again. There's only one man there, and he's going to have to pass it back. Nearly puts it out of bounds. A little bit of a flick there, and still AMSG on the ball. But not for long as Arsenal get that ball right back. Fitzgerald. Martinez loses it again. And AMSG were looking to attack there, but it's going to be picked up by DP, and now Blaze Hardy on the ball. Still Blaze Hardy. Blaze Hardy to Joshua Martinez. Martinez to Cortez. Cortez. Long ball. On the end of it was Hamid, but don't know if he was in an onside position there. Either way, it was too long, and Haynes will sit on it and pass it short. Ref won't call advantage for that off-ball incident. Now it's just a little bit of chaos going on, similar to what happened to the field last night. Just chaos, but now it's a little bit of calmness here. Hamid, still Hamid. Hamid takes the shot. Oh dear, that is closer to the corner flag than it is to the actual goal, and it will be a goal kick for AMSG. Good bit of play from Hamid to get a shot, get himself an opportunity at a shot. It's just the finishing was a tad bit poor. We're going to take another water break here as the 75th minute approaches. Goals from Al-Sakati and Tirani. Oh, that rhymes. But the scoreline here, AMSG 2, Arizona Arsenal 0. Welcome back. We are resuming action here after the quick water break. Lasted about a minute, maybe two. So at about the 75th minute mark, 74:56 to be precise. It ended. Looks like it will be ending in the 77th. Looks like there actually is a couple of changes here for the refereeing. For the referees, I do remember that there was a female that was the second assistant referee. Now it is a male. So I don't know if we just got a brand new refereeing squad or if we just had a couple of people that were replaced last minute. A lot of the referees that you do see here are referees that you'll see throughout the season. Both like for the USL2, they will have referees that we see, and the UPSL they will have referees that we will see quite regularly. Kamara is on the ball here. As it's Owen Jowett. And now it's Jacob Fitzgerald that tried to take that ball away, but it deflects a little bit too hard off his knee, and now to play for a goal kick. Arsenal definitely looking for a goal. AMSG definitely holding firm. Pace of the game is, of course, as you would expect, it slow down on the AMSG side. They're looking to just sit on their laurels and take a 2-0 victory home to Orange County. Arsenal looking to get. They've been on a little bit of a skid here. That skid cost them a playoff spot. So that ball's going to be out of play for a goal kick. This season, significantly shorter than what you would expect for a professional season. This is pre-professional after all. Most of these kids aren't getting paid. As Kinnison looks like he is the designated ball boy for the day. God bless him, considering that he's wearing long sleeves. As that ball's going to be kicked away by Haynes. And headed by Martinez, and then headed back by AMSG. And now chances for AMSG for a possible third. They're not really in the mood to pour it on, it seems, compared to what Ventura County did to us during the last bit of rain delay. This is the second straight game we've actually had a rain or lightning delay. Last home game, it did result in us moving fields to field 10 as the field was flooded. It was good for the field. It did get some much needed water into it, and possibly there was some much needed water onto this field yesterday, but considering what we saw last night, it was mostly blowing dust, which is not ideal for a grass field. But it seems like it's playing still relatively nicely. I believe there are a couple of brown patches now that weren't there yesterday. So the field did take a tad bit of a beating, but as of right now, AMSG looking to seal their spot not only into the playoffs, but into a bid for the U.S. Open Cup. It would be two California teams representing again from the Southwest Division. This time it would be, of course, Ventura County, who have been running away with this league for quite some time now, or running away with this division for quite some time now, in AMSG. As we're looking towards the playoffs, we might as well take a gander at the standings here in the Southwest Division. Obviously, Ventura County have had it sealed for quite some time. In fact, it was the game against us where they officially clinched first place. And AMSG in second, Tucson in third. They are the last remnants of possible playoff positions in this division. AMSG looking for a third to essentially clinch their victory here. It's going to be passed around. Still Sanchez. Cross looking to come in here. Arsenal were appealing for a goal kick. They will not get it. It's a corner. As we look at the divisions here, United PDX of the Northwest Division officially clinched their spot with 2 games left. They are on 28 points. Ballard, the defending national champions, still holding on to a playoff spot. They are trying to hold off Tacoma Stars. For us, it's actually Tucson that officially occupy the second spot now, although that is going to change with this result. Zambrano gets taken out here. It's going to be a yellow card here for the foul. And AMSG would be on the outside looking in if there was a draw today. There's still time. But right now, Tucson, they did secure a victory last night. They are on 25 points. Arsenal themselves all the way down in fifth. They are officially out of the race. Redlands still technically in the race, although just barely. I believe they would be eliminated with an AMSG win today. Redlands in the playoffs last year, so a very much improved result for Arizona Arsenal. They are on 17 points, looking to at least get 3 more to finish on a nice even 20 before the season ends. In the Mountain Division, Flatirons Rush did clinch their spot in the playoffs. And it looks like Albion Colorado will take that second spot as they finish above Utah United. In the NorCal Division, Almadian are just 2 points ahead of San Francisco Glens and Project 510 or 510. So that one's very much a very tight race to see who will get those US Open spots and playoff spots. Kick is deflected and now out of the harm's way of AMSG. In the Great Lakes Division, it is Midwest United and Flint City Bucks who are looking for that first place spot. Those two, however, very much in the playoffs here. It's just to determine who wins the Great Lakes Division now. Des Moines and Peoria competing for the Heartland Division crown, with St. Charles just a tad bit too far behind. Thunder Bay leads the Deep North Division ahead of Bavaria United. Bavaria United were in the U.S. Open last year. U.S. Open Cup, rather, but they are hanging on. They're just a point ahead of RKC, and now here's a chance here for Arizona Arsenal. Zeke Zambrano. Zambrano could take a shot from here, and he does, and it's a good save by Haynes. In the Valley Division, Fort Wayne leading Cleveland Force. Cleveland Force only a point ahead of Toledo Villa. In the Mid-South Division, Little Rock leading Louisiana Crew by 9. They have officially clinched their spot. Louisiana Crew officially clinched that second spot quite a while ago. Mississippi being on 14. There's the goal. Blaze Hardy claims it, and it will be. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving here. Arsenal want to get themselves an equalizer. Blaze Hardy does get his goal. He had a goal called off last night. And Kamara places that ball down. Blaze Hardy does get himself on the score sheet for the first goal of the season. For his first goal of the season, rather. If this was our first goal of the season, we'd definitely be a lot more celebratory. Blaze Hardy has the goal, and now AMSG kind of putting themselves in a tad bit of trouble here. AMSG wanted a foul, and Arsenal looking to equalize here, and that would spell trouble for AMSG. They would have a game remaining, and they would be down by a point to FC Tucson. Joshua Martinez now. Ortiz. Hamid tried playing it back to Hardy, and he does find him. Kamara. Jacob Fitzgerald loses it. AMSG. Now they're playing with purpose, as you would expect. They were on their heel. They were just playing a little bit, not aggressively. They were playing just a tad bit. In fact, it was the opposite. They were just playing with a calmness. Now they're not. They are down. They are still up by a goal. They can still take their time, which they rightfully do so. Ball's going to be kicked away. The reason why AMSG put themselves in this situation is that Tucson actually won against them in Keno Sports Complex. Now it's a race to the finisher. AMSG have one game remaining after this. Arsenal, of course, they have their one game remaining. It is irrelevant in terms of the playoff race, but it is relevant in terms of trying to break that 20-point mark. And they could make it easier for themselves if they get themselves a goal here. The ref's going to call the foul. Free kick, Arsenal. 87 minutes gone. believe this will be an indirect free kick here. Bunch of players on the end of it here. A little bit of it's bouncing around and it's just going to be kicked out of play here. Speaking of the USL2, we're looking around the divisions here. Southeast Division, Nona and Brave are the two teams that have officially clinched their spots in the USL2 playoffs, and their spots in the US Open Cup is Shamai Kamara. Crosses that in a little well too hard, and Haynes, don't know if he's just actively not going to pursue the ball or if he's legitimately tired. Both could be plausible right now, considering that they had to do some running during the break, actually. A little bit of a personal story from myself. I ended up going to get McDonald's during the break, and that's when the storm got significantly worse. Did a bit of a drive-through, drove back, got hit with a multitude of dust clouds. But luckily, I was in my car, and I end up parking, and then I see a bunch of people leaving. I'm like, oh man, the game got postponed, didn't it? And of course, confirmed, did get postponed. And I was just sitting there as poor AMSG player had to cover his face with a bag of balls due to the fact that the dust was blowing directly into his eyes. Don't believe he started that game, so at least he wouldn't have had to call himself up. I believe he ended up being okay. When you cover your eyes, the dust usually doesn't get to you. Ortiz. And now Arsenal really are playing with purpose here. It's Owen Jowett. Playing spoiler is fun, and they are feeling the adrenaline of doing so. Ortiz. Passing it back to Hardy. Hardy, long ball here to Zambrano, but it's a good bit of defense from AMSG, who are essentially fighting for their playoff lives right now. They don't want to slip up any more than they've had here in this state, but that could be changing here. Chances for Ortiz. He wants a foul, doesn't get it. It's a clean tackle. And now AMSG looking to put the dagger in. We are in the 90th minute. We will be getting some additional time here. Of course, they required at least 1 or 2 minutes due to the fact that, well, there was a water break. And now AMSG looking to take their time here. Don't know if they're actually going to... Oh, though, that was a little bit of a hard shove on Blaze Hardy. And, of course, it's going to be a free kick. Ortiz will have this ball here. And referee is telling him, hey, put the ball back in the proper position. I don't care if you want to take it quick. But it will be taken quickly either way. Martinez. Kamara. Along the wing, it's going to be crossed in. There's a head on the end of it. It nearly goes in. I think the keeper would have had a touch to that ball if it actually was going to stay. And he does have the jumping ability to save any looping shots that would go into his net, at least ones that loop like that. And AMSG, they will most likely get these 3 points here. Ref has yet to blow his whistle. He isn't even looking at his watch yet. Jowett, Fitzgerald. Zambrano crossed in, heads away. And now AMSG will eventually kick this ball out. And it's still on AMSG's defensive zone. Arsenal need to hurry up here. We're in the 92nd minute. Don't know if there's any other additional time. Zambrano. Oh dear. That could have been taken significantly better. That ball was kicked like it insulted the mother of that player, and oh boy, that is it. That's a very unfortunate way to end proceedings here. Goal kick still needs to be taken, but doubtful that there will be any more action that'll be played after this. Kick is going to be a low lining. Lining shot. Referee has not put the whistle to his mouth yet, so we will be playing on. It's going to be Christian Ortiz. Had to blow some stuff off of my mic. Still out of play. My assumption is that it's Arsenal. Are you kidding me? It's AMSG throw. Referee took his sweet time getting the ball, telling him, yeah, and rightfully, the first official tells, did he just book? Yeah, he booked a player for embellishment for obvious reasons. He threw the ball directly back. And now Ortiz, the assistant referee, telling him to wait. Obviously, want to record that yellow card. Don't know if there's fines for yellow cards in this league. I doubt there is. Long ball here. It's going to be looped around. It's going to be to the feet of AMSG, and that should be it. And DP's all the way out. He was needed all the way out here, but it does go over his head. If there was a lot of power in that leg, maybe there would have been a possibility of a goal from the other end. Still no whistle here. And there it is. The referee does blow his whistle. We have reached full time. AMSG survive a bit of a scare. And it is a victory for AMSG. They are officially ahead of FC Tucson by 1 point heading into the final day. Final score from Arizona Athletic Grounds after a long delay. Arizona Arsenal 1, AMSG 2. As before we conclude here, we might as well show you the schedule here of FC Tucson. They are playing this Sunday against Coachella after beating AMSG 2-0. Meanwhile, AMSG themselves officially beat, it says here that they beat Arsenal 1-0. In fact, it's 2-1. Same goal difference. But they will be traveling home to play against league leaders Ventura County Fusion. Both games kick off at 7 p.m. And they will both be watched here. Actually, no, the Tucson Coachella match will be kicking off 30 minutes after the AMSG match. But until then, we will not be able to update you on those scores tonight, obviously. But Arsenal will finish out their season against the team that will be playing Tucson in that crucial game. But until then, it's AMSG 1, Arsenal, or AMSG 2, Arsenal 1. This has been Joshua Buttrick signing out. Good night. Or so used to saying good night. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you tonight. That's better.